Hello, everyone, and welcome back to episode 5 of our Colorado Rockies rebuild here on Out of the Park Baseball 26. When last we left off, we had a 30-41 record. Things were looking kind of okay at the beginning of June, but after playing a handful of series off stream, we have regressed to the Rockies mean, where we went 8-14 over our next 22 games. So we currently sit 38-55, which somehow not the worst record in baseball. That honor goes to the Miami Marlins, the Washington Nationals, and then the LA Angels. The worst record in baseball, 30-63. So, compared to the real life Rockies, not doing too bad. Compared to the rest of baseball, it is grim in this here city. Just to briefly go over the series that I simmed through. So the rest of June didn't go well in any real stretch of the imagination. Obviously, we had that great series against the Braves. We swept them. 2 from 2 from the Nationals is a little disappointing. Granted, they're a team on our level. Then the wheels kind of came off. We lost 3 in a row to the Diamondbacks, including a 6-7 loss where they scored 2 runs in the ninth inning to take it. Anthony Molina not looking too hot at the moment. I'll get to why. That was disappointing. And then listen, I'm just happy I took 1 game from the Dodgers. We beat them 5-3 when we managed to get to Tyler Glasnow somehow. And overall had a pretty good game. Thiago Estrada and Chris Bryant had home runs in this one. And then we got swept by the Brewers in 3. I don't want to talk about it. Lost 2 out of 3 from the Astros, including a rare shutout. And it's surprising based on just how bad our offense is, but we really don't get shut out that much. In the entire month of June, we only were shut out once, and that was to the Dodgers in the month of May. We were only shut out twice, to the Tigers and the Rangers. So we don't really get shut out a ton. So that was a bit disappointing. And then we take 2 out of 3 from the White Sox, which is good. And then finally, we took 2 out of 3 from the Red Sox. Now, on one hand, you're looking at it like, sweet, pretty good stretch there. This loss, where we lost 9-11, Anthony Molina, bless him, came in with a 4-run lead in the ninth, got 1 out, surrendered 5 hits, 6 runs, 1 walk, and a homer. So, yeah. That has ballooned his ERA. It was finally getting down to a respectable number, but now it is way, 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 way up to a 5.3. So that will probably ruin his season numbers, essentially. So getting that back down might be a little tricky. But before that, he was looking really good. So unfortunate there. And another unfortunate consequence of the fact that our bullpen is just the walking dead at the moment. But that is what it is. And so, despite a very good offensive day, I had to play Chris Bryant in third because Ryan McMahon decided to go and get himself suspended for 5 games. That's cool, especially when our infield depth just isn't great right now. So that part's a bit annoying. I have made 1 change to the lineup. Sam Hilliard has been benched. I tried to make him an everyday outfielder, and I don't think he has it in him. Right now, he's playing just below average, but his on-base percentage dipped below 300. He's had his worst month yet in July, and I think at this point, it's time to play the kid. We're going to give Zach Veen all the run as our left fielder and our leadoff hitter. That's my plan. When the wheels come off, I'll let you know. Other thing of note is Ezekiel Tovar is still in AAA. I said when I sent him down that it was going to be a short stint in AAA. Well, unfortunately for Tovar, all my infielders are kind of hitting right now. Estrada is red hot. His OPS is nearly a .9, which is insane. He's starting to find his home run ball a little bit, so he's playing really good baseball right now. Kyle Farmer is just simply our best hitter this season. Granted, that bar is in hell, but he just is, and he's putting up very consistent numbers. So those two need to play more often than not. And then Ryan Ritter is also doing very well as a backup infielder. He started all 3 games against the Red Sox, got 4 hits, 4 RBIs, did really, really well. So unfortunately, there's not really a spot for Tovar. Unless this is where things get a little interesting closer to the trade deadline. Right now, Chris Bryant is our DH. He has been our DH this whole season because I don't want him in the outfield for fear of injury. However, there is a world where I move him to the outfield, maybe as like a backup outfielder, or if there's an injury, that frees up the DH spot, which could go to Ritter, or I call up Tovar and move Kyle Farmer there. So there is some opportunity for movement there. But overall, our offense is woeful. In terms of on-base percentage, half of our lineup is doing below average. I think, Estrada and Zach Veen are 2 of our top 3 guys. They haven't gotten that many, at bats yet. Jose Abreu has come alive in July. He has caught wildfire. He has a 1.2 OPS. He had a great May also. He's looking like a guy that we could potentially trade for. Very good value. I would like to see his overall or his potential increase. That would be nice. There's no real reason to extend him because I operate under the assumption he's going to retire after this year since he's going to be 39 next season. But for us so far, I mean, he's a positive WAR player and his OPS is a .8. Can't really fault that. So a lot of interesting moving parts here. Michael Toglia, unfortunately, I think is starting to regress way, way down. The power has disappeared in the past couple weeks. He has only 1 homer in his past 10 games. And so far in July, in 32 at-bats, he has 2 hits, one of which the aforementioned home run. So we may have to wean Toglia down a little bit at first, and that'll give Jose Abreu and Chris Bryant the opportunity to bat next to each other. That's kind of where we're at in terms of a lineup. If you're wondering about how we compare with the rest of the league, we're 11th in runs scored, 15th in average on base percentage and WAR, 12th in OPS, 5th in home runs, 6th in stolen bases, and 2nd in base running. Let's talk pitching. Nothing has changed since we last left off episode 4 in regards to the players. However, an interesting development. Austin Gomber walked into my office and said, I'm not sure you noticed. My contract is ending soon and he'd like an extension. I am of 2 minds. One, Gomber has objectively been one of our better pitchers this season, just without question. In 13 starts, he's got a 3.7 ERA, whips 1.17. Shout out the Master Chief. Ks are up compared to where they've been historically with him. Home runs are way down to just 0.5 per 9. He's sitting at 1.6 WAR. I mean, that's worthy of an extension. The issue I run into is ratings-wise still, he's only slightly average to above average. And he is going to be 32 next season. That could be shaky. I did go to offer him an extension just to see what he wants. He wants base 2 years, $6.5 million. I think if I do extend him, I would rather just make it a 1-year deal with slightly higher salary, just so it gives me a little bit of insurance if he flames out at the end of this season or next season. But I think with regards of if we extend him, it'll come down to how he looks after July, getting into August. In terms of the other pitching group, Kyle Freeland is starting to do better. He got hit quite a bit by the Diamondbacks. Dodgers weren't kind to him, but had a couple back-to-back good starts against the Astros and the Red Sox. He is obviously still annoyed at the team record, so that's just making him very unhappy. Um, he demanded a trade. At this point, it's just no one wants his contract. He's making 16 this year and next, 17 the year after. Like, no one wants to pay this man his money. So if we do trade him, we're going to have to eat some of the money. Might not be the worst thing in the world. With Kyle, the Ks, he's averaging just less than 7 Ks, which is his average. He's walking more guys than last season. Less home runs, but 1.45 whip. You'd like that to be lower. Sean Burke, who we acquired in the trade, I think has been pretty good. He got hit a little bit in the last start. He managed to go into the 7th inning against the Diamondbacks, so we're starting to get that stamina back up. But the issue, and this is something I clocked when we traded him, he has extreme fly ball tendency. So in Coors Field, that doesn't play great. If you look at his pitching splits here at home, is when he's given up most of his home runs, most of his runs, walks, etc. So that is something to keep in mind. But so far, I've been really happy with him. 1.3 whip, 8.5 Ks per 9. BABIP is down to 287. He's looking like he could have a future in the Rockies rotation, which is nice. Spencer Turnbull. I am essentially flipping a coin after every couple starts on whether to trade him, re-sign him. Do I just flat out let him walk in free agency? Who knows? But right now he's been worth almost 2 WAR, 1.3 WHIP. He's striking out 8.4 guys per 9. I think right now I'm in the camp of we extend one of Gomber or Turnbull. Probably let the other one walk because we won't get a lot of trade stuff for them and go from there. Scott Randall has started coming back to earth a little bit. The White Sox hit him, so did the Dodgers. But overall, I think I'm in the camp that if Randall is my worst starting pitcher, we're okay. If he's anything other than that, we're in pretty big trouble. Ignore the ERA for him, though. He has a 1.1 whip. He doesn't strike out a ton of guys, only 6.6. 2 walks per game is a little shaky, but 253 BABIP. Guys aren't really hitting him around that much, which is good. He's on a minimum, same like Sean Burke. So that's, 2/5 of my starting rotation next year in Burke and Randall secured. Gomber or Turnbull makes 3. That gives me 2 open starting roles for next season. I won't go through all the bullpen guys because who has the time, but I will highlight 2 guys. James Norwood, who we picked up on waivers. Overall, he's been good. He unfortunately gave up 4 runs to the Brewers, and so that kind of nuked his numbers. But I think overall, he's been okay. The 2.17 whip is terrifying. But I think overall he's done pretty good. And then obviously Anthony Molina, who before he gave up the 6-run extravaganza to the Red Sox, was pitching pretty well. I still like him as a future closer. I need his stuff to improve, or else I may cry. So that's kind of where we're at in terms of pitching against the rest of the National League. Starter runs against were 12th, starter ERA were 10th, bullpen ERA 15, FIP is 13, pitching WAR is 9th. Again, strikeouts, we know this. We don't strike guys out. 15th. And then defensively, defensive efficiency were 6th, zone rating 4th, errors 8th. So that is where we are at. One thing I did want to check, has anyone, where am I looking? June. Anyone grabbed Senzatella yet? Nope. Senzatella is still a free agent. Oh, man. Looks kind of sad. Should I bring him back on a minor league deal? All right, so here's the plan for this video. There's not going to be a lot of games in this video. Looking at the schedule here, obviously, the draft is today. And then I am going to play through the Red Series. We'll get through the All-Star break and then kind of go from there. Right now, I'm just hoping that, no one gets injured and we can all just finish stock straight. So, all right, let us do the draft. Now, Rockies, we pick fourth. We have $8 million for this here opening pick. We also have 2 second-round picks. Obviously, we have the second pick in the second round. We also have the 31st pick. So we have a very legitimate opportunity to end up with key contributors in the first 3 picks. Now, I am also of the opinion that we're just taking best player available. Even if you look at our player development little here, we don't have that many like long-term options set in stone. Obviously, if Tovar gets it going, we won't need a shortstop for the future. We have a lot of outfield pieces like Zach Veen, like Brendan Doyle, who we think will be okay. Our entire starting rotation is currently chilling in AAA, including Chase Dollander, who I will call up eventually. Let me be clear. However, it doesn't help that he's not having too great of a season in AAA. But by the end of the season, Dollander is going to be up here. But outside of him, we don't have many long-term guys that we know, like, okay, we don't need a center fielder or we don't need a catcher. Like, we need everything. Even, Seth Halverson, who was our closer to start the year, he's doing okay. He's not doing great in AAA. Looks like he got hit around recently by the Chihuahuas. So, it's not great. So my plan, we're just taking best player available. I think 2 of our first 3 picks need to be college guys because we need production as soon as possible. We don't really have time to wait for a high school prospect. So let us begin the draft. Nationals take Ethan Holiday, high schooler, that's fine. Wow, Jace LaViolette was mock drafted to us at 4. I wasn't going to take him because, sure, he's going to have great power and great eye, but his contact's not going to be great. He has no speed. Defensively, he's in. No. The Mariners took Kason Cunningham. That's annoying. He was the high schooler that I was tempted to take. All right. The pick now falls to us. The best high school player was essentially Jace LaViolette off the books. The other college guy I like was, where is he? Here he is. AJ Russell. Now, what kind of worries me outside of the personality stuff with AJ is his stamina is only a 45. So his stuff is going to grade out to the 70s. His slider could be an 80. That's really, really tempting. The 45 stamina does give me pause, but I think Russell is a guy that we're going to have kind of, on the back of our minds a little bit as we look through the other college guys. Gavin Kylan is allegedly the best player in this class in terms of just the overall draft board. He's a very good defensive infielder, got a little bit of speed. grades out to have some of the best contact and avoid Ks in the game. No power whatsoever, which no power doesn't concern me. He's an infielder. I can figure that elsewhere. The 45i does give me a bit of pause. He has hard signability for us. He wants 4.2 million. For reference, AJ Russell would be normal signability, but he wants 7 million. So that's quite a big difference. And then the third college player I was looking at is Dean Curley, who I'm not going to take him with our first pick because he's not that good. But if I'm looking for just a dependable, solid infielder that I know I can put at third, I can put him at short, he's got okay speed, he'd be the one to take. Um, the 7 million hit for AJ Russell is a bit much. I think he's worth it. Even if, let's say, all of this grades out to be like 60 and 65 instead of 70, that's still the best pitcher in our organization. So I think we are going to select AJ Russell. We're just going to simply meet his demand, pay him his money. All right, now the question is, how far does Gavin fall? Wow. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Gavin went 12. All right. Let's just sim to our next pick then. All right. Second round. So we went pitcher in the top. So let us shift our focus to the batters. No one left with, your 80, 70 potential. There are a couple 60s, though, including some easy and normal signability guys. Let's take a look. Gavin Turley. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, the avoid K is going to be a problem. He struck out 80 times in 60 games in college, but he's got 8 triples, 20 homers, a 1 OPS. I mean, Turley ain't bad. He doesn't grade out particularly like anything crazy. Mason White. Ooh. Mason White is tempting. Infielder. Again, the avoid. Oh, no, 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 no. 109 strikeouts in 62. No, 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 no. I'm tempted. I'm tempted for Turley, though. Let me look really quick at the mock draft. Where did they have Turley go? I just tried to scroll through if I'm not even in the second round. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of pitchers left kind of in this pipeline. Max Williams is also in the top outfielders available. I mean, honestly, like, I like Turley. I think in the second round, it's a bit of a reach, but I'm getting a guy I know I can play anywhere in the outfield. He's got great speed. He could have very solid power for us. I like Turley. I like. Bon. There's no way for me to move him in over here, is there? All right. They're gonna make me stroll to find this guy. There he is, Gavin Turley. Let us meet his demand. Select Turley. All right, now we go again in the bottom of the second round. At this point, the scouting recommendations are a bunch of high schoolers and then Mason White. So to be fair, I could get both. But the avoid K just terrifies me. He's going to hit for power, which is good. Can I see his fielding stats? No. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Let's take a look at the pool really quick. Extremely hard, extremely hard. Anthony Marti. The first thing I saw were 60s. I was like, yes! But then I saw the eye and the defensive ability. Maybe not. Oh, interesting. So Alex Buch played in the draft league, which is usually, more difficult opponents. And he was terrible until his final game just 2 days ago. I mean, I wouldn't play him at first because you'd be wasting that arm, but he grades out to have pretty solid power. Hmm. But the other thing I'm running into is he just a worse version of Mason White? And the answer is essentially yeah. I think the pick is Mason White, and I'm just going to have to accept the fact that he may strike out 1,000 times. I think that's just kind of where we're at mentally with it. Did I miss Mason White? Where'd he go? There he is. All right, let's take Mason White here. And now, Anthony Martinez just went. That's funny. All right, so now I think we shift back to pitching. There are a few 60 potential guys left, which is nice. They are all high schoolers, with the exception of Tony Pluta, who, though he's in college, he's going to be a reliever, and his personality is going to suck. So I think we'll let another team take him. Let's look at these guys. Blaine Metz. Control's only a 45, but I mean, movement's going to be good. His stuff is likely going to be better than 55 if the changeup and sinker go. All right, I like Mets. Justice to woo my. Okay, what about Aiden Barrientos? I mean, Barrientos is probably a little more well-rounded, but let me compare Mets and Barrientos first. So with Mets, I'm getting a guy who I'm ignoring the stuff potential because Mets is going to have a better changeup, a little bit better sinker, whereas Barrientos is only going to have a better slider. So I think stuff potential really is going to favor Mets. And at that point, yeah, so I think it's definitely Mets over Barrientos. Is it Mets over De Jong? Let us see. I mean, De Jong could potentially have the best changeup and, maybe best curveball in the game. That's not nothing. Stamina wise, Justice also is going to be better. I mean, I like them both. If I could get them both, that would be nice. I think I'm going to go Justice here with this pick. And then we are going to hope that Mets is still there for the next one. So let's go Justice. Bring him down. All right, advance. Do we see Metz's name? No, we don't. We can get them both. Yeah, Barrientos went to the Red Sox, but I mean, Blaine Metz is still there if I want them both, which I may. First, let me look at this dude, Ryan Higgins. Never mind, I looked long enough. I was like, yeah, he could be interesting. Nope. No, his potential is too bad. Yeah, I think Blaine Metz is the pick. There is definitely a simpler way of finding these guys that I'm just not seeing, but who knows? Okay. So at this point, we're in the fifth round. We are, let me look just at high schoolers. So all the 60 potential high schoolers are gone. We are now down to a couple 55s, and this guy's demand is actually impossible. So I guess, yeah, he just committed to Vandy, and he's like, listen, I'm going to win natties with Vandy. Yeah, so the high school list is kind of grim. Ethan Beato, though, I like. Because it looks like he's going to grade out for decent control. I mean, he had a sub one whip in high school. BABIP of 305 is a little high, but I like him. Mr. Ethan. Alex Buch, by the way, is still available. But no, I mean, yeah, I think the pick is Ethan Baeto. Just mark him so I can remember it. What I should have done beforehand is move the draft pool around. That's what I should have done. Tony Pluta is still there. He's just staring at me. It's like you could take me, but I don't want to. That's the fatal conceit. I'm coming back to Ethan, and I'm second guessing. But no, I mean Ethan. I mean the velocity isn't great, but that's fine. And even if he grades into a long reliever, like a long reliever with really good stuff and decent control, I think that'll get me pretty far, I would say. But now, select a player to preview. I'm trying game. Hmm. Maybe I just can't take him. Maybe that's the if I like drag him. I can't even drag him. Aha. Okay, so from the sortable list is where I can find this, I guess. This is just the old screen, is what I'm seeing. There we go. Ethan done. That was too much work. Too much work. Much too much. But don't worry. Figured it out. It only took me like 5 minutes. All right, so at this point, I've gotten four starting pitchers who a lot of them I'm offering below slot, which, it's fine. But I think I'm operating on the assumption I won't get all of them. So I think now is it time for Mr. Buch. You know what? Just because he's still yelling at me, he's still looking at me, he's staring me down. Let's get him. Okay. Let's see. Because Alex is going to be a more infielder. College outfielders, yeah, it's looking grim. Let me look at the batting potential. Give me just power. Just raw, unlimited power. Uh, mm, Cam Maldonado. Hmm. I mean, he's going to be average in terms of contact, but he's got good eye, good power, can play left or right field, and good speed. Is that worth more than Jack Winay, who's just your pure power monster? Let's see. Winay hit 24 homers in 67 games. Maldonado in 54 hit 14. I think we're going to go with Maldonado. To add to the outfielding group. All right, I think I'll pick three more players. I'll get to 10, and then I'll just let the AI handle the rest. Okay. I haven't drafted a catcher yet. It's always a good sign when you're like, I have not taken a catcher. It's fine. What's my sortable list? Okay, so in terms of catcher, I'm gonna be honest. Edward Yamin. Nah, his catching ratings aren't great. Luis Hernandez has the power. Carson Brown, good contact, good BABIP, but his eye and avoid Ks are bad. Hmm. And I would say he's above average defensively. Jackson West can also be a first baseman. He can catch. I compare those two. So in terms of potential, I don't care about now. I'm getting slightly more power with West, much better eye. Though Carson Bowen does have some speed, which at the catcher position is pretty rare. Defensively, I think I would prefer the five better blocking and five better arm than five framing. And West can also potentially play at the infield or even the outfield. So yeah, I think Jackson West is the pick here. Bring the catcher in. Okay. Two more picks, and then I hand it off to the AI. Oh, Tony Pluta just went to the White Sox. Good luck, guys. Best of luck. Let's see. Yeah, at this point, we're taking guys that likely won't sign with us. Just kind of Hail Mary runs. Daniel Pierce. Hello. I mean, yes. Like, he's got speed. He can play second or short. He's got really good contact. Avoid K is eye above average. Yep. There we go. Done. Ah, they took the other gentleman. Matthew Hoskins, you are a bullpen. You are a long reliever. Which means if I move him to relief pitcher, odds are his stuff goes up by a little bit. His control of 35 is a bit shaky. Hmm. 70. Man, how are you going to give me 75 movement potential, but only 35 control? I was ready to give you the keys to the kingdom. Grayson Boyle's the high schooler. Control's going to be really good. Stuff is going to be above average. Signability is extremely hard. He's not going to want to come here, but we'll take the shot all the same. Oh, it's not even my pick. Never mind. Bulls is still there. We're fine. That's funny. All right. I am going to auto draft the last 10 picks. Let the negotiations begin. All right. So they're all pending their offers, which is good. Cool. Okay. Yeah. So they're all just pending their offers. Sweet. What did I determine? Aha, transactional. All right, so Jackson Wells, Pierce Boyles. Okay, so the AI took Ethan Hedges. I mean, he doesn't look that bad. Contact's a bit shaky, but no issue. Let me create a new short list. This is just going to be 2025 draft prospects. I think, yeah, let's leave him at first because his arm isn't particularly great. Keep him there, but he looks pretty good. Thank you, AI. Cooper Witten, oh boy. Yeah, he's a defensive and speed first outfielder. I don't think he's worth tracking. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, his offensively, even in the draft league, he was negative WAR. The AI's killing me. Porter, Buscema. Ooh. Okay. Starter in college, but reliever in the draft league, and he did very, very well. I think let's have him try out at reliever. But I really like the stuff. Obviously, the potential is shaky, but that could be something. He's in rookie ball, I guess. I'll let the AI sort out like where to put them and such. Mason Greenhouse. I mean, sure. Yeah, I'm gonna be average, above average hitting, solid defensively, good speed. Okay. Patrick Spencer, you can be a starter. Yeah, good stuff. But I'm sensing that our AI auto draft has a theme with the pitchers. Luis Hernandez, who is not going to be good. I'm afraid he had negative WAR in the draft league. Parker Jenkins, you are a reliever. And that'll boost the stuff up a little bit. He could become a decent looking reliever. Hooper Blauser can play any position. For that alone, add him to the list. He can literally play anywhere. That's awesome. Yeah, he grades out slightly better, I would say, as an infielder, but that's cool. Hudson Shoup looks awful. And finally, Nicholas Biasi, who is a reliever. He didn't look that bad. Okay. So overall, this is obviously before we sign any of them. any of the big guys. Decent looking, okay list. I'll let the AI put them at whatever level they want. Or do I want to lock them? Actually, no, I lied. I'll do that and I'll lock them. How do you look in single A? Average. Okay, so Blauser is going to start in Fresno. Let's lock him there. Parker Jenkins, you can stay in rookie ball. Same thing with Greenhouse. Nicholas Biassi. How are you in single A? You should be fine. Especially as a reliever, you should be fine. Okay. Porter. Yeah. Oh, right. He's loaned to Frederick. We are going to remove him from the draft league loan and send him to Fresno. Patrick Spencer, I'm gonna be honest. I know you're gonna be 21 in a second, but like you can chill in rookie ball for a bit. Just letting you know. And then oh yeah, Ethan. I suspect Ethan Hodges or Hedges is just gonna shoot up the minors just with his bat alone. Okay. So that is everyone where I want. So those four in single A, Greenhouse, Jennings, Spencer in rookie ball. There we go. Before I forget, let's move the ratings to Major League Ball. Okay. So now that that is done, we will wait and see how the negotiations with these guys go. I think if we get like two of Russell, DeJong, Metz, and Beato, I'll be a happy man. If we get like three or all of them, I'm doing jumping jacks. But that's looking pretty good. Has it? Our minor league system has dropped. You hate to see it. All right, so let's get to some games now. Let us shift focus to the Cincinnati Reds and Hunter Green, who will be pitching against us. Since McMahon obviously is suspended, then Kyle Farmer is going to play a lot of third base. Ryan Ritter is going to come in at short. Hilliard is benched. Abreu is just like red hot, so he's going to play for Toglia for a bit. And then Goodman also is doing really well recently. So that's the lineup. Zach Veen to hit leadoff. Let's go, buddy. I think overall the draft went pretty good. We went a little more pitcher heavy than I would have liked, but a lot of that is the AI, which I can't really control. Boy, they hit Veen. Rude. Jose Trevino, what is your arm, my friend? It is a 55. Zach, send it. Decided against it. All right, let's let Estrada hit. And that's down off the wall. Thank you, thank you. Are you sure it didn't go over the yellow lineup? Can I get a review, please? I would like one. All right, runners on second and third for Chris Bryant. Bang! Into the outfield. Ball is down. That'll score one. Estrada obviously holds. Nah, Bray UK's. Jose, that was your moment. John Bouchard, fly out to center. Scores Estrada, though. Nothing wrong with a sac line drive. All right, Doe strikes out. But hey, we got two. All right, let's see how Turnbull does in the first inning. Clean. Goodman, Farmer on first and second for Veen. Let's go. And that'll get down. Runners advance. All right. Bases loaded. from Mr. Estrada, who is red hot with a 900 OPS. He hits it deep to right field. That's gone. Grand slam for Estrada. Thank you. Thank you. Hunter Green, my friend, I am so sorry. Chris Bryant K's to end my day. Rain on the parade, rather, and Abreu grounds out. Well, hopefully we won't allow 6 innings in the ninth again, or 6 runs in the ninth again. Oh boy. Encarnacion Strand, we can just K him. Easy. Boom. See? Never to doubt. It's a lie. I doubted quite a bit. All right, Sean Bouchard, solo homer. That's nice. Runners on first and second for Zach Veen. That's a flyout. You know, if Bouchard could start hitting homers, like, I'm not going to object to it. He's getting a lot of run in right field. And if he were to start turning the corner, it'd be very helpful to me. Because right now there's a non-zero chance he gets traded at deadline. Turnbull gave up 3 runs. Game's gone. We're doomed. Hunter Goodman, I need a 3-run homer here. And I get it. Deep to left, gone. I am Nostradamus. Hunter Goodman, he's having a really good July. I mean, what is his... Yeah, 1 OPS, 700 slugging. I'm telling you, if Hunter Goodman can start hitting, that'll really make me more confident in our... Oh, hey, they hit Kyle Farmer. Ref, that was clearly on purpose. Zach Veen with the casual bloop single. That'll do. I mean, if Zach Veen and Jordan Beck can, like, 1-2 our outfield in the future and give me, like, Doyle at center for defense and speed, could develop into a pretty good outfield. And that ball is down. That should score both of them. No, just one. Zach Veen didn't run. Interesting. Chris Bryant, K's again. Not his best day so far. Oh, no, not the error. Not the error. That's rough. Who they give the error to there? The thrower? Yeah, Steer. It's rough. To be fair, though, you have an outfielder playing third base, so I don't quite know what you expected. Yeah, it looks like he's been their DH, but they have him at third today. I'm not going to question it. Sean Bouchard flies out to left. But hey, we got 5 more runs on the board. Turnbull's under 50 pitches. Oh, boy. Get Fraley. Thank you. All right, Stuart Fairchild with the full count. Flies out to right. Pretty good. Because if I can get Turnbull to go into like the 7th inning, that's the ideal. Because I know the All-Star break is up, but like, it's more about I need to see that my starters can go deep into games. All right, Ritter brought Doyle home. Let's see how Turnbull does in the 6th. Not a great start with Gavin Lux getting on base. All right, let's warm up. I think let's just do Romero. Let's not mess around here. Even though, listen, we have a 10-run lead. I'm not particularly worried, but let's just see what we can do. Austin Hayes, have you had better success against lefties or righties? You have had much better success against righties. Turnbull, your day is done. Thank you for your service. Romero can come in. And that's one. That's two. Inning-ending double play. That's what we like to see. Who's on my bench? Hilliard, Taglianola. Got it. And they get Veen swinging. Estrada, though, the bloop single. We love our bloop singles to right field. It really is impressive. All right, I'm going to have Toglia pinch hit here for. Actually, no, I lied. Chris Bryant's going to hit. I'm going to have Toglia pinch hit for Abreu. No, and he Ks. Quit striking out. All right, I will have Toglia pinch hit for Abreu. That also gives me a better defensive first baseman. And that gets through the middle. Good pinch hit. No, don't go to third from there. Bouchard will hit a 3-run home run and we're fine. Or he'll ground out. Fair enough. All right, well, we had runners that didn't score. I'm not that worried. Toglia goes to first. Romero gets me a clean seventh, and he's only on 10 pitches so far. All right, let's warm up Molina. I need Molina to come in a completely safe, no fear of blowing the game situation. This is where I'm at. All right, Candelario goes down. How has he been doing? Been doing pretty good this year, to be fair. 3.3 WAR. Hey Gavin, how you doing? I see you have 3 hits today. He is worse against lefties. All right, so Romero will face Gavin Lux, and then that'll be it. And he walked him. All right, Molina is coming in to face Spencer Steer. And he gives up a ball that gets all the way to the wall. That'll hurt Romero's numbers a little bit. They'll score both of them. Come on, Molina. All right, he gets Hayes to fly out. Disappointing. How many pitches did Molina throw? Only 4. All right, cool. Let's just see if we get any runners in scoring position. We do. Farmer with a double. And Zach Veen hits it deep to right. That ball is gone. More insurance runs for Molina as Zach Veen gets his second home run of his career. We're cooking with gas now, folks. Chris Bryant, I might as well keep in to see what he can do. And he gets me a single. That'll do. Oh, he's going for a double. He's a bold man. He got it. Nice. Nice one there, lad. For the heck of it, I'm going to bring in Hilliard as a pinch runner. And Toglia walks. Not too shabby. Bouchard lets it fly. 3 more runs. Well done to the men. As the Reds are using so many relievers and it's only game 1 of the series. I like this a lot, lads. Can we get 20? Ryan, I need you to get on base. He does not. Well, the only way we get 20 is if they score 13 and then we score 2 in extras. So, doubt that'll happen. Let's warm up Vodnik just in case this gets ugly. Don't walk him on 4 pitches. And Encarnacion Strand has the green light on 3-0 evidently and flies out to center. He walks Espinal. See if he can get Trevino. He does. All right. I think at this point, Molina is just going to have to get him. Soft grounder to second. The throw. It's in time. We take game 1, 18-5. Most impressive. That'll do. Estrada with 4 hits, Veen with 3, Chris Bryant, Sean Bishop, Brenton Doyle, Honeycomb, Kyle Farmer, all with 2 hits. RBIs all around. Estrada, Bouchard, Goodman, and Ritter, Veen all had homers. My goodness gracious. They had to use 6 relievers in the first game of this series. That'll do. That will do. Let me hit the save button. The poor Reds. All right, Mason White has joined our organization. Cool. So, let's be frank. He is not a shortstop. He is a second baseman. In terms of where I want him to play, I feel like it's. I mean, yeah, he's going to dominate in single A. And then I'm probably just going to promote him immediately after that. So White is in. Ethan Beato, the first of the pitchers, has signed. I like him as a starter, I think. The movement, a little shaky, but I like him as a starter. He can just stay in rookie ball. So that's 2. So we're waiting on Russell, Turley, DeJong, and Metz. All right. While we wait, let's give the ball to Scott Randall as he faces Nick Martinez in the Reds. Anybody tired? Nobody's tired. Gee, what do I want here? I mean, Veen did pretty good. Doyle is just crushing it. Bouchard hit some home runs. Yeah, I think this is just where we're at, really. As long as nobody's injured or cold, I think this is just our lineup. Maybe with Abreu instead of Toglia, depending, but it's kind of where we're at. Sean Bouchard, give me another homer. Or he lines out to first base. They can't all be winners. All right, I am looking for Scott Randall to have a bounce back start and get me in through the 6th inning. He's already given up 2 runs. Not looking great, but we got 1 back. Can we make it more? Hunter Goodman, sir. Into the outfield. Run, sir. Run like the wind. All right, Ritter stops at 3rd. I was expecting a guy with his speed to be more bold. He's not going to score on that. And Zach Veen K's what was looking like an easy run opportunity due to some base running gas is now harder, but Estrada says don't worry about it. Another home run for the second baseman, and Estrada is just over here balling out. Please don't opt out, sir. Oh boy. Chris Bryant getting in on the action with a single. We should just play the Reds every series. That's just the conclusion I'm coming to. Nick Martinez is at 40 pitches, and he's not even out of the 2nd inning yet. Flat. Yeah, he needed 45 pitches to get, or no, 46. 46 pitches to get through 2 innings. It's big bet. Oh, boy. Randall, please. Get there. Nope, he doesn't get there. 1 run will score. Good throw, though, to be fair. It's not looking great. 70 RBIs. Wow. All right, we get Streer to line out. That's a good recovery. Now we just need to get Gavin Lux. And get Gavin Lux we do. Cool. All right. Well, they got 1 run out of it, but they really should have gotten more. Nothing doing. And they tie it up. There we go. 2 more runs. What happened there? Yoink. Bouchard with a home run. Sean? Sean? Is he doing this? Is he doing it? Ah, they get one back. Randall, you're killing me, dude. All right, let's put Garcia in and then get Vodnik warming up since he didn't go yesterday. Right now, we keep, every time they get close, we just get a couple more runs here. So, 1 run per inning. I wouldn't hate that spread. And McLean gets it through. The wheels are falling off. All right, Vodnik, I got bad news, buddy. You're in a jam. Good luck. All right, he gets Fraley to K. Hi, Ellie. Well, there goes our double play opportunity. It doesn't matter. He K's Ellie. Get the Candyman. He walks the Candyman. Vodnik's already at 14 pitches. Let me get Norwood warming. Get Steer. Get Steer. He does. He strikes out Spencer Steer. Thank you, Victor Vodnik. Coming in, doing good work. Hunter Goodman's on second now. Let's bring him home. And popped out to shallow. Mean case. All right. Nothing doing there. I'll have Vodnik face Gavin Lux and then probably put Norwood in. Boom. All right, so Norwood's going to get the rest of the 8th, and Scott Alexander likely will get the 9th. That is my plan. May it succeed. Uh-oh. Whoo! If Ryan Ritter was injured there, I would be out of infielders, essentially. And he gets TJ Friedel. Good job, Norwood. Nice little 2-run thing, and then we'll get Scott Alexander ready for the 9th. But first, insurance runs. I'll gladly take some. Strata flies out. Let's have Jose Abreu get a pinch hit opportunity here. And flies out to left. And Toggle flies out to center. We covered all the outfield there. Very nice, lads. All right. I mean, Norwood's only on 5 pitches. So I'll leave him in and see what happens. He K's Trevino. Full count to McLean. Don't walk him. He didn't walk him. Line out to third. Jake Fraley, the only thing standing in the way. 4-out walk, huh? And it's Ellie. Oh, boy. And yeah, he's done about the same. Do I let Norwood face or do I bring in Alexander? I am going to let Norwood face him. 2-2 count for the save. He strikes him out. We take game 2. Very nice job from Norwood with the 5-out save. Very good, lads. We got to Nick Martinez early. Estrada, Bouchard, and Ritter at home runs. Listen, Sean, buddy, if you start hitting the ball well, I'll be a much happier man. All right, we take game 2. Now on to game 3. All-star teams are announced. You all will be stunned to know that we got no one voted in. However, by nature of the 1 player from each team rule, Seth Romero is our all-star representative. Fair. I would say definitely fair. Also, a reminder he was signed to a minor league contract, like free agent contract. I signed him. So we turned that into an all star. I am a genius. How he was available, I will never know. Like his development scouting has been insane. Like crazy. All right. Very nice. Prospect game rosters. We have Charlie Condon, who currently is at high A, who I think is deserving of a move up, I would say. Let's move him to double A. Yeah. He needs to be in double A, I think. Good lad. Okay. So, final game against the Reds. Kyle Freeland will take the mound against Graham Ashcraft. No one is tired, which is good. I think let's give Zach Veen a rest. Have Sam Hilliard hit. I do not want him hitting leadoff, though. I'm going to have Brenton Doyle take that spot. Ritter will hit 6. Hilliard will hit 7. I think is how I want to do it. Let's have Abreu DH for Chris Bryant. And then, I mean, unfortunately for Austin Nola, I mean, he hasn't hit since the 7th, but Goodman is just, he's on a tear. Like in our last 4 games, he's got 8 hits. I'm not going to bench that. You crazy? So, and then McMahon is going to be suspended for one more game after the All Star break since he got a 5-gamer. So, all right, Doyle is hitting leadoff. Let's see what he can do. The unfortunate strikeout. All right, Estrada gets on base. Thank you, sir. Let's try to run on Tyler Stevenson. Oi, and Estrada is gunned down. Stevenson has thrown out 4 of 26 base stealers. Jeez Louise. And Abreu grounds to first. Well, that is the downside of being uber aggressive. And Kyler Freeland is allowed not 1, but 2 home runs already in the first. I hear that's not sustainable. At least I hope not. Please don't walk Gavin Lux on a full count. He didn't, to be fair. And a diving catch from Doyle. So that's why, like, even though, don't get me wrong, Brenton Doyle has been horrendous this year offensively, especially compared to last year. Having, like, that level of center fielder with his speed, like, he already has 32 steals. There's value in playing him, even if his bat falls off a cliff. So that's why, whereas like Bouchard has been kind of benched at times, Hilliard has been benched at times, Doyle, he's going to have a spot in the lineup for his speed and defense alone. It's actually a good question. So Doyle currently has a center fielder zone rating of 6 with 6 assists and 2 errors. Whereas Hilliard, who's played center field a little bit, his zone rating is negative 1.8 and 3 assists. So Hilliard, I think, as a backup center fielder is not really the move. He's a much better left fielder. Ryan Ritter Hayes. Speaking of Sam Hilliard, he flies out to right. Hate to see it. I've been so impressed that Ryan Ritter just keeps hitting the baseball. The Encarnacion Strand gets the homer. Hey, Hunter Goodman, another homer. He can't be stopped. Evidently, neither can the Reds against Kyle Freeland. See, walks Stevenson. I was about to say that should be shallow enough that Ellie won't get it, but then I remembered the speed. So Ellie only has 18 stolen bases so far. What if that's the AI being a little silly? All right, get Gavin Lux so I can exhale. Exhale. All right. Okay, no damage in that third inning, which is good. We got runners in first and third. Sam Hilliard flies out to right. Not great. Sam Hilliard also might be a. I mean, let's be frank, he is a trade candidate. Because at the moment, I'm not bringing him back in arbitration, so better to trade him and play like Jordan Beck in his spot or some of the other young guys. Well, Kyle Freeland's only getting 4 innings for us, which is grim. Let's see if he can at least get Jake Fraley. Pop up to sort. All right, yeah. Only 4 innings from Kyle Freeland is not where I want to be in my life, but unfortunately, that's just where we're at. Bad day from him. All right, Herman, let's do this. Gets through a clean fifth. A clean sixth. Good man. Let's have Scott Alexander warm up. Meanwhile, our offense has gone completely cold, and Alexander has given up 2 straight runners. You dare try to bunt? That's what you get for trying to bunt. Have some respect in your bat, Jake Fraley. My God. LEKs also. Stevenson, fly out to center. Runners on first and second, no outs, and they don't even advance. Well done there, fellas. Okay. We have runners. Farmer Doyle on first and second. Estrada hits it deep, but not deep enough. Caught near the warning track. That will advance. Cal Farmer. Now the question becomes, do I want Jose Abreu to face Pagan or Chris Bryant? Or Zach Veen? What is Zach Veen's splits against righties? Ooh. Very nice. Chris Bryant's? Similar, decent. Abreu. Not there. Okay, so Abreu is getting pinch hit for. Let's have Chris Bryant take it. Full count. Grounder to third. And he doesn't get him. It's an error. Oh, okay. I'll take that. That's legitimately a game-changing error right there. We get one, and now Michael Toglia with runners on second and third hits it to right, but it's caught. All right. All right, we get one. So that'll do. Kinley will warm up, but I hope Alexander can just take this. He immediately gives up a line drive hit from Austin Hayes. Oh, boy. All right, get Gavin Lux. Double play is in play, but they just get the lead runner. That's fine. Mr. Encarnacion Strand, are you better against righties or lefties? You have not been good against either, so I'll leave Alexander in. Line drive. Not great. All right, let's bring Kinley in to face Stuart Fairchild. And a wild pitch advances the runners. And now we have to wait for the catcher animation to finish. I really don't understand how that hasn't been like hot fixed out. All right, we strike out Fairchild. One more, TJ Friedel. Get him. Infield pop up. That'll do. Okay. So here we go. Bouchard, Ritter, and then Zach Veen is going to pinch hit for Sam Hilliard when it's his turn to bat. But first, Bouchard. Rounds out. Ryan Ritter K's. All right, we're going to have Veen pinch hit for Sam Hilliard here. See what we got. No dice. Veen K's. All right. We drop the final game against the Reds. Our bats just didn't really have it. I mean, Hunter Goodman hit a home run, and that was really our only offense since the other run was scored on an error. Kyle Freeland, horrendous. 4 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, only 2 Ks. But the bullpen did really, really well. Roman Marquez didn't even give up a hit. It's beneath him. So disappointing, obviously, to lose that final game. But we took the first two. So, all right, AJ Russell signs. That's our first round pick right there, who I hope we can turn into a starter. Do I immediately throw him to the fire in Class A? I think with him, let's keep him in. Yeah, let's keep him in rookie ball, and inevitably, when he crushes it, I'll move him around. Hey, and Estrada gets Player of the Week in 29 at bats. He had 15 hits, 3 home runs, 11 RBIs. I mean, yeah, Estrada, he's crushing it. I mean, that's one of the big reasons why Tovar is still in AAA also. Like, he didn't have a great May, but June, July so far, 1.3 OPS? Excuse me? And Estrada's doing great. So that certainly helps. Let's advance through the home run challenge. Aaron Judge takes it. Gabriel Hughes threw a complete game shutout against the minor league opponents. He also wants to be in the majors. To be fair, he does deserve it. Oh no. Hollander out for the season. Not only that, recovery time is 14 months. He's not going to play in 2026. Maybe in September, but yeah, that's he's done. His stamina's never going to be the same. Nice. Well, that's unfortunate. Justice DeJong does sign. Thank you. Oh, he's also a two-way player, which I hadn't really noticed. That's fun. But I mean, Dollander going out for the season is horrible. Like, that pains me emotionally. And he's going to miss like all of next season, too. Yeah. All right. All-Star game. Wyatt Langford gets MVP. Did Romero get into pitch? No. Oh, he did. He took the third inning. Got a K. Hey, he was the second reliever out. Paul Skeens started it. Bing, 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 bing. All right. Good job, Romero. Good on you, buddy. Very nice. All right. And Blaine Metz also signs. He similarly is just going to chill in rookie ball, I think. And now all we have left is Gavin Turley. Once he signs, he will have everyone. Cool. I admit, not the great start in single A for Nicholas, but it's fine. Oh boy. I might send him back down to rookie ball. We'll see. Oh boy. You got this, Nicholas. I believe in you. And Gavin Turley signs. I think keeping him at center fielder probably the move. I imagine if I move him to right, yeah, his potential goes down. So he's going to stay at center. He's definitely going to single A. There's even an argument for high A, I think. Yeah, he'll just crush single A and then I'll move him on up. So, cool. All right, Gavin Turley signs. That means we have negotiated with all of our draft players. They are all in the books. Pretty good. All right, let me advance to Minnesota. I am now going to do one of the rare, manager things. I am going to reset fatigue on everyone because I don't like that, the All-Star game messes with some of the players' stamina and such. So I'm just going to reset everyone's fatigue for the players that participated in the All-Star game. And yeah, I guess Kyle Freeland is going to start. Well, no, because he wouldn't be on that amount of days rest if I don't. When did he do it? He pitched 13th, so 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th. 4 days rest, I guess that's fine. So yeah, Freeland will face the Twins when we come back. But I am going to stop the video there as we've gotten through the All-Star break. I think, yeah, I'm not going to play any series off stream this time. And then next week we'll come back. We'll finish up July. And the trade deadline looms large on the 31st. We don't have a game on the 31st, which is nice. So we got a 3-game homestand against the Twins and the Cardinals. Then we go travel to Baltimore for 3, and then Cleveland for 3, and then the deadline. I think in terms of players that I am likely to trade, I think Abreu likely going to get traded. Sam Hilliard likely going to get moved. That's pretty much it, I think, for our hitters. Pitching wise is going to be the big one. Do I find someone to take on Kyle Freeland's contract? Do I decide I'm not bringing back Gomber, so I trade him? Do I trade somebody for Turnbull? What kind of happens there? I think I am of the opinion that I trade Turnbull and keep Gomber. Because even though, if you compare the men, objectively speaking, Turnbull is better, but Gomber has put together a better season. Let me actually get the stats. The stats here. I mean, Turnbull's also pitched 6 more games, but I don't know. I think I'm kind of leaning towards Gomber, but we'll see how that shakes out. I mean, a lot can change, injuries, etc. In terms of the bullpen, I think Tyler Kinley, if I can't find a trade partner for, I'm likely just going to. Well, no, because if I release him, right, yeah, then it's. Yeah, now I can either write him a check for 1.6 or I can spread it out in 2 years. So if I don't trade Kinley, I'm going to cut him. Maybe similar with Herman Marquez, since he's obviously not coming back. If I can't find a trade partner for him. And then we can start getting in some younger guys into the bullpen. We're definitely going to need some replacements in the rotation if I end up trading some guys. So, a lot of different moving parts. I'm very excited to see what sort of this team looks like post trade deadline. Likely not going to be an insane amount of moves, but you never know. You never know. So, thank you all for watching. I think it hasn't been, the most entertaining season this far because, we're only 40 and 56, but I think we got some interesting moving pieces, and I look forward to seeing how things shake out the end of the season. So, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.